Hey everybody, so I have gotten a ton of requests for making a step-by-step video on how I make my soaps, so I figured this would be a great video to start with. This is our oatmeal milk and honey soap. I make it hot process method, which means that you make it in a crock pot or over the stove, and the soap is constantly being cooked the entire time, so it can change consistency several times. In the beginning, you were just seeing me stir it and get all the lye and the oils mixed together. This is after about 20 minutes of cooking. It reaches kind of a point that's called about the mashed potato stage, but the consistency of the batter will change several times during cooking. I usually check it about every 15 minutes just to make sure that everything's being combined and that everything is staying cohesive. This next stage is typically what people call the applesauce stage. It's where the oils separate just slightly while it's being cooked. There's a little bit of moisture from the top of the crock pot lid, but you just give it a good stir, get everything mixed up, and make sure that you keep stirring that so nothing gets separated. Be careful when you're scraping around the sides though, because the soap, whenever you're stirring, as you can see, it can kind of go up on the sides of the crock pot. And if you scrape that off when you're stirring, it can kind of get some chunky bits inside the soap. Now, the last consistency that you're looking for is type of a Vaseline looking consistency. So if you look here, it looks a little bit like Vaseline. It kind of has a transparent glossy sheen to it. And that is when you want to put your additives. So for my soap, I do a tablespoon of raw Florida honey. And I do colloidal oats, that's just traditional rolled oats that are put through a food processor. It gives a gentle exfoliation without it being too abrasive and too harmful. So I just turn the crock pot off, stir all of that up, make sure all of that is combined, and then we scoop it into the mold. Now the only thing with hot process is it is lumpy and it can be a little hard to get all of that flat in the mold. So typically you have to press it down hard with the spatula or bang it on the counter a couple times just to get any air pockets out and make sure that you have everything together. Now for the oatmeal milk and honey, I do like to take some bubble wrap and press that into the top of the soap. You've got to be careful though, because the top of the soap is hot. This is the next day, 24 hours later, you're able to peel that off. And then I just take some extra soap and add some gold mica to it and glitter it on the top so it looks like a drizzle of honey. That's probably one of my favorite parts about this soap. Now we are going to place it on our soap cutter and cut it into 1 inch wide soap bars. They're about 1 inch wide and about 2 inches on the face of the soap. But the best thing about the hot process, especially with the oatmeal milk and honey, is you can see all the different textures. It's not picture perfect, it's rough, it's, homemade. It is the definition of a homemade soap. You have tons of different textures, you can feel everything. The smell is fantastic. This is by far one of our best sellers and a crowd favorite. So check it out on bubblishsoaps.com if you're interested in getting yourself a soap bar or few for family and friends. This is something that is always in our shop. It's one of our most popular staples. Thanks for watching.